Greetings, people. It's Jared here, Wolfgang1, back to do another Transformers review. This one has been requested of me from a subscriber of mine called Spiderfan UK, and they wanted me to take another look at another Pretender, because clearly, you know, my subscribers are not suckers enough for punishment with just one Pretender. And it turns out neither am I, because I've got a whole fucking case full of the bastards. So we're going to be taking a look today at another questionable offering from Hasbro's Pretender line. And this is the review for Generation 1 Submarauder.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here is Submarauder in his fucking apparently submarine mode. Now, before we get too far into this questionable piece of shit, let's just take a deep dive. Pun strangely not intended, but there we are. Let's just take a deep dive into the accessories that Submarauder came with. Okay, now he comes with this. Hang on, let me zoom out here. It comes with two halves of a Pretender shell. Now on the camera, this is coming up far bluer than it actually is. This is actually more of a turquoise blue, but I'll come onto the shell in a minute. He comes with one belt. Now normally the belts would have been used to hold the shell together, really. But in this case, it's mostly just a decorative feature, so you might as well just molded that into the plastic and not bothered at all. He comes with one sword for his Pretender shell. Actually, the sword does look pretty cool in the hands of the Pretender shell, but that's about it. He comes with this, which can be held either by the Pretender shell, the robot in robot mode, or part of the alt mode. And this is a torpedo launcher, right? So just take that in for what it's worth. And it also comes with this clamshell shield thing that attaches to the shell's arm. Now, it would have been really nice if they'd somehow incorporated this into the alt mode to try and make it look, I don't know, like something other than someone who's been bent over from a fucking car crash. But no, they didn't do that. He came with one tech spec decoder, as always. One instruction booklet that some little fuck nugget has managed to colour in, right? Because I bought this off eBay. I bought this secondhand, and look, they've just like drawn in. Well, you know, thanks. I mean, obviously, said fuck nugget didn't know that this was actually going to be worth anything in years to come, and they've completely fucked that one. So thank you very much for that. And he came with this product booklet. Now I'm going to just zoom out and show this. The product booklets for 1987, I think 1998, whatever this was dealing with the Power Masters, the second generation Pretenders. So, sorry, first generation Pretenders, second generation Headmasters and Target Masters here. You have the Power Masters, the Fire Cons, if you're that way inclined, and like a few other things like Seacons and that. And the Pretenders in the UK were Submarauder, Bombburst, and Skullgrin. That's not showing up very well. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get any better than that, so this camera can go fuck itself. There was only 3 out of the 6 released in the UK, and that's the same for the Autobots as well. I, on the other hand, own all 6, including the US releases. But let's ignore my smugness for just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, and let's concentrate on the matter of this review. Now, I'm not sure there is anything I can say in the defense of this fucking toy, right? This is absolute shit. Right, this is supposed to be a submarine, right? Okay, I'll tell you what, let me just zoom out a little bit more, right? There we go. Right? And you're supposed to attach the torpedo launcher, right, into the back of what is clearly the fucking head here, right? So he fires torpedoes backwards. You can't turn it around like that because it just, yeah, it's shit. It's shit, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to say anything. Well, there's nothing I could say, really, that would elevate this in the minds of anybody, except maybe perhaps the Pretender shell. But, you know, that's only supposed to be part of the gimmick. The main gimmick is supposed to be the robot inside. And every fucking time, right, they let themselves down massively with this concept. So that is the complete alt mode, as you see it right there, right? Now, ignoring the fact that they've cast the weapons and all the accessories in the same fucking purple plastic as the main robot, so the purple plastic details get lost, right? Maybe a little bit of accent a silver or something, just to offset the blue and the purple. But no, not them. Not them. I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool if you could attach this just like that, right? And it could act like a clamshell sort of thing. You can do that, but it still looks like wank. It's still a massive piece of wank. There's no redeeming features here, ladies and gentlemen. I've yet to come across one first generation Pretender with a contortionist fucking gimmick like this, right? That wasn't a fundamental piece of shit, right? And this, Wyatt, here's the thing. You might be very well wondering to yourself, you're a G1 collector predominantly. Rather, why do you have so many questionable pieces of shit in your collection? And I'll tell you why. It's because as much as I love the G1, right, 98% of their output was questionable pieces of shit. Right, let's say 90. As the line went on and the years went on and on and on, the questionable pieces of shit started like rearing their ugly heads more and more. And this is just one such example of a questionable piece of shit. Okay, I can't say anything nice about it because there's nothing nice to say about it. It's fucking bollocks, right? So I don't think this review is going to go on too long, quite frankly, because if you've seen one Pretender transformation or variation thereof, you've seen them all. Just take this fucking thing off, right? This is clearly a robot mode folded up on itself. Can you guess where the head is? Can you guess where the legs are? Can you guess where the arms are? If I was to turn this fucker over, just for the hell of it, why not? Why not? Oh, can you sort of suss out for yourself what the transformation for this might be? What might go where? What folds down? What folds round? Can you guess? I think you probably can. Right now, a couple of little things would have possibly not made this any better, but might have elevated it slightly if you'd have coloured in these two fucking thruster tits, nipple things, whatever they are, on his back. You know, just like add a little bit of paint to it and just like sort of bring out some of the details which always get lost in block molded plastic. Having said that, of course, you could have fucking painted this up to look like fucking RuPaul, right? And it still wouldn't have fucking looked any better. But you know, whatever. This and now part's just fucking broken off. I don't even know what that came off. There's a little blue bit of plastic here, right? That has just snapped off something, and I don't know where that possibly could have come from. Oh yes, I do. Yeah. It might be one of the pegs holding that foot in just there. Oh, that fucking bodes well, doesn't it? Right. Okay. So that foot's now loose. All right, that's fine. That's fine. It can't be any fucking worse than it already is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so let's get this transformation done, right? See if you can guess what it's going to do. So we're going to start by folding these sections down and out to the sides, right? Just like that. We're going to pull down these two blue tabs for the feet, like that. Let's stand him up. So you can see this in all its questionable glory, right? And then you pull these arms apart like that, fold them down, and there he is. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is Submarauder's robot mode. Now, it's weird. The over large head compared to the spindly body, they do kind of look like sort of young warriors. And I always thought to myself that a decent story for the Pretenders could have actually been these Autobots and Decepticons were still protoforms to a sense before they actually got their final bodies, because that's what they look like to me. They look like basic new life protoforms, like basic transformers before they've actually got their outer skin or their shell or their alt mode or whatever. Because let's face it, this thing doesn't have a fucking alt mode, right? It does have head articulation, right? Its head moves. But there's no purpose for it because you need the head in exactly the same position to attach the torpedo launcher in. Do you know what? I'm boring myself with this. So articulation wise, well, the arms go around full 360 like that. The legs do that for transformation. It's a fucking mess. He's got a Decepticon logo on his dick, right? This is so questionable. This is I really do think the Pretenders came out at a time when it was just about time to redefine what was questionable and what wasn't. And these guys knocked it out of the fucking park in that sense. They really did. Now, let's get that fucking shit out of the way. Right? Let's talk about the shell. Let's talk about the shell. Because the shell, much like all the Decepticon Pretenders, was the redeeming factor in this, right? That is fucking gorgeous. Like a sort of amphibian warrior thing. These things wouldn't have looked out of place in Masters of the Universe, really, I don't think. Some lovely sculpted detail on the shell. Some paint application, you know, not that I'm fucking mentioning that too often, but some paint application to bring out all the details and the accents and sort of things like that. The Pretender shell is a wonderful little fucking design. That's really, really, really imaginative. It's just a shame that that's about where the imagination stopped, because then you've got that on the fucking inside to contend with. You might have guessed by now, ladies and gentlemen, that I have a very, very perverse love-hate relationship with Pretenders, because the concept is fucking great. The absolute concept of it is brilliant. The outer shells, for the most part, on a lot of them, again, more often than not, the Decepticons, are really, really quite... They're unique. They're really, really quite interesting. And then every single time, the bit of disappointment comes up and kicks you in the bollocks from 100 yards away after a running fucking kick, right? And then you split the shell open and you pull the toy out inside and you go, oh, Jesus, fuck me with a rake, right? It's just... I'm now tripping over my words, because I'm still 30 odd god years later still sitting here going, what the fuck? Absolute what the fuck, right? So we'll do the honourable thing, right? We split the shell open. We fold up this little fucker's feet, right? Fold them down. Fold the arms in on himself, like that. And then we stick him in the shell like some sort of hyper stylized coffin, right? Close that fucker up, right? Hide the embarrassment, hide the disappointment, and then the decorative thing, you put the belt on the shell. Again, these used to like sort of wrap around the shell, but in this instance, not at all. Let's give him his sword, just like that. So he's got his little sword. Oh yeah, by the way, I didn't bother showing it off, but the robot mode can hold the this weapon here on the small peg. Not that you care, not that anybody cares. No one's going to lose any sleep by me not showing that particular gimmick off. The shell doesn't hold this gun in any way convincingly. So look at that. It's just fucking, yeah, that's wank. I might just plug that on his arm, actually. Fuck it. Who cares? Who cares? And then the shield goes on his arm just here. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Generation 1 Submarauder. I wish I had something better to say about him, quite frankly. I wish I could say, do you know what, these toys fucking knocked it out of the park back in the day. In terms of their concept, yes. In terms of their realisation of that concept, not fucking remotely at all. And it's a shame, because every single time they've done, I say every single time, in the two subsequent attempts that they've done Pretenders since, the Power of the Primes, they fucked that properly. And now they're starting to do like sort of the Pretender gimmick again in the Legacy line, Iguanus, where a shell of Iguanus transforms into the Inner Robots toy. And once again, that looks like a massive piece of shit. Why can't you get this fucking right? This is a fantastic concept. To see this actually realised in all its potential could be one of the fucking best things Hasbro ever did, right? And yet they insist on finding new and ingenious ways of fucking it time and time again. So congratulations, Hasbro, you're winners in that regard. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this review for Generation 1 Submarauder. This is, I've got fucking loads of these things. I've got all 6 Autobots, all 6 Decepticons, the second generation Pretenders. I've got most of the Pretender Beasts and Pretender vehicles, and they don't get any better. There's varying degrees of shit, right? It's not each time they release a new Pretender or a new variation of Pretender it gets better. It doesn't. It's just variations on a theme, and that theme is shit. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this review. This is Gerard Gavenberry, also known as Wolfgang1, saying I'll be back next week with another review, another request from Marcus Prime, which surprised the hell out of me. And after that, I've got some more reviews coming. There's some more 7 Days. Don't forget, 7 Days to Die Series 3 kicks off on April the 1st. Looking forward to showcasing that one because I had a lot of fun doing that. And I've got some other gaming videos coming up soon, hopefully, if I can get my arse in gear. So take this in for what it's worth, because it ain't a lot. And I shall see you soon. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, take care.